I have enjoyed reading your comments, and some of you are really seeing some great changes in your skin, and many of you have asked some really good questions. So today I just wanted to sit and kind of talk through them. Some of those questions like, do the oils actually damage the skin barrier? What about hyperpigmentation and dark spots? And what about oily and acne-prone skin? Let's talk about them. Some of you commented your success stories, and I want to share those with you. They made me so happy. I started oil cleansing with jojoba and apricot oil, made tallow balm, and my dark spots have faded. Ah, I love it. That is one of the reasons why I love the super simple skincare routine. Another one of you said, my 50-year-old skin is loving the natural oils. I love it. Some of you really made me cry. The first question I'm going to answer is from the oil cleansing video, and that is, how often should you cleanse your face? Now, I oil cleanse once. I do that at night, and then I do not do it in the morning, because in the morning I just use a warm washcloth. That is just to freshen up. And with the oils that I use at night, I don't want to rewash everything. However, if you feel like you want to cleanse again in the morning, by all means, go ahead. It's not going to hurt anything, but you may find it's not necessary. Do what you got to do. It's not going to hurt anything. I love this because it feels like it's just us and we're sitting and chatting. And a couple of you had some questions that really got me thinking. The first one I want to touch on, and then the next one we'll get to here in a minute, but you all made me think. This one is from Julia. What about all the dermatologists who say that oil breaks down the skin barrier? Well, I hadn't heard anybody say that. So I started digging. It actually reinforced my video of the oils that I don't recommend for the face, but my reasons were not this. I had no clue. But let me read to you what we found out. I'm just going to read bits of it to you and then give you the gist of it. Many dermatologists warn that certain natural oils, particularly those high in oleic acid, like olive oil, mustard oil, soybean oil, increase inflammation and worsen conditions like eczema that cause leaky skin, creating holes in the lipid barrier. And it goes on to mention that the oils high in oleic acid, that they can damage the skin barrier, and that's what I've been talking about in the videos, is protecting that skin barrier. And the Dermatology Times says, check ingredients, avoid olive oil, mustard oil, tea tree oil, and anyone that has a compromised skin barrier or sensitive skin. Also, some of the articles were about using certain essential oils. And yes, you need to be careful of what essential oils you use on your face. We're not talking about essential oils here. We're talking about these oils, and any of those oils that I mentioned are not a problem. The National Institutes of Health.gov, they go into explaining dermatologists are concerned about the oleic acid because it is penetration enhancing, triggers irritation. They caution against olive oil, sunflower oil, avocado oil. So every one of those oils are ones that I had mentioned in the oils that I avoid. And my reason for avoiding these oils were not for these reasons. I learned something. So now I definitely don't recommend these oils for the face. I was onto something and didn't even know it. Thank you, Julia. So it's a good thing we're not using those. We are sticking with your apricot kernel oil, your jojoba oil, the argan oil, and the sweet almond oil. One comment, she had several good questions. She asked about how I wash the washcloths. This one comes up often. The washcloths with the oils. I use 100% cotton washcloths. I just wash them normal with my towels. I even use a more natural detergent, and they get clean. If you're finding you have amounts of oil issues, then you might be using too much. And then also my sheets and pillowcases. As far as going to bed, by the time I put my oils on, I feel like I'm pretty oily. And my pillowcases, they're 100% cotton. I wash them normal, and I don't have any oil stains on them at all. I mainly use, that I can speak for from experience, are the jojoba, apricot kernel, argan. Those are the main ones I've used. I have been using the sweet almond oil, and I am liking that one to cleanse with. However, I do not know if the sweet almond oil long term would cause the sheets to be oily. or the pillowcases. So I can't speak to the sweet almond oil, but castor oil. I use a lot of castor oil. That's not staying in my sheets. So, but I cannot speak long term for the sweet almond oil. So anybody that is using that, please let everybody know in the comments if that's an issue for you or not. Years ago in my aesthetics practice, I did use an almond oil, and I used a lot of a grapeseed oil, and my towels and my sheets both got stained. I would use those oils to massage shoulders, so I would get stains on the sheets and on my facial towels. So, but for the most part, not a problem. I used the towel once. That was another question. I used the washcloth once, and I throw it in the laundry, and it gets washed with everything else. So, and they're not the prettiest things, but no, I don't do anything special. Don't soak, don't double wash. They just get thrown in. I ain't doing all that. Another question was, do you have recommendations for hyperpigmentation? Yes, I do. And that's probably going to require a video all on its own. If you want to go back and check out the video where I talk about the oils that I do recommend for the face, and most of those oils were good for hyperpigmentation, so just start with one. And those oils were rose hips, sea buckthorn, and pomegranate seed oil. Carrot seed oil is also one that is known for hyperpigmentation, but you need to make sure, that's why I want to do a video on it. It is not carrot seed essential oil. Carrot seed oil, that is an extracted oil, a cold pressed carrot seed oil. That is an oil that is known to help with hyperpigmentation, but again, that's for its own video. And that leads back to the testimonials. People are seeing results. I get this one a lot. What oil would you recommend for a 20-year-old with combination oily skin for a cleansing oil? Well, short answer is, for oily skin, the argan oil is where I would start. And again, it's trial and error. I get asked a lot about, what about acne-prone skin, cystic acne, or breakouts, and that is complicated. And I really, really hate that for you. There's so much associated. There's diet, environment, hormones, but mostly it's something going on internally. It's going to vary from person to person, all different ages. It is complicated. I don't really think I have an answer for that I could cover in the comment section or on a YouTube video. But argan oil, if you want to try an oil, that might be a good place to start. I'm sorry, complicated. While we're getting complicated, here was one of the questions, is what is the sequence to apply your retinol when you're applying the oils? I personally don't recommend retinol or any retinol products. I'm not throwing any shade on anybody. If you like your retinol, use your retinol. I mean, there's things I do that other people may not think's cool. Probably one of the number one anti-aging tips I can give, and I've said it in every video. You might get tired of hearing this, but protecting that skin barrier, having a healthy skin barrier, is going to do more than anything that you can apply or peel or do to your skin. Tretinoin, retinol disrupts the skin barrier. However, there is an oil called, and I have to look at this to pronounce it correctly, bakuchiol. It's known as nature's retinol. It's an extract from seeds and leaves from the plant, and a lot of skin experts call it nature's retinol. And that is because it ever so gently promotes cell turnover rate. That's the same thing that you're trying to achieve when you use retinol products. You're wanting to get the skin to slough off the dead skin cells, and that triggers the skin cells beneath the skin to plump up and say, ooh, we've got to make some collagen and do all the little skin cell things, and they plump up, and that reduces the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. But this oil is supposed to do it in a much gentler way. So there's options. Someone asked, should the rosehip oil have a scent? Yes, it does have a little bit of scent. All of them have a little bit of scent. It's not bad though. It's really kind of pleasant. The pomegranate seed oil has a scent. Now with rose hips, there is rosehip seed oil, and then there's rose hips oil. And that's one, the rosehip seed is they take the seed and they cold press it, and you're getting the extract from the seed. And the rose hip is they're probably macerating the berries, the rose hips, not berries, into an oil, and you've got the fruit extracts into the oil. So we're talking about rosehip seed oil. Same with the sea buckthorn oil. We're talking about extracts from the seeds, but there's also sea buckthorn oil that is a fruit extract. Those will probably have more smell and they'll be brighter in color. So yes, you'll have a little bit of fragrance, but like I said, none of these have a really strong odor. They're all pretty pleasant and mild. And you all ask all the time about sunscreen. That is another whole video itself. I personally, at this point in my life, I am not wearing a sunscreen. When I'm outside, I'm kind of chasing shade. I work in one part during one part of the day, and I work in one part during the other, and I wear a hat. I like to get a little bit of sun. Anyway, I have some kind of controversial beliefs on sunscreen. And there are some natural sunscreens. There's some natural sunscreens out there. I have made an at-home sunscreen using non-nano zinc oxide, and it works when I'm home. Now, I don't wear this out and about because it leaves you like white and pasty looking. Like, I don't know if y'all remember the old zinc oxide, and it was the paste, and then you'd put it on your nose, you'd go to the beach, and you'd be running around and just big white nose. It's similar to that, except if you do any DIY products, look for non-nano zinc oxide. The problem with some of the sunscreens, there's so many chemicals in them, but with the sunscreen, you want non-nano, because to make it not look white, they use these little nanoparticles of zinc oxide. And the nanoparticles are so tiny that they can be absorbed into your skin and into your bloodstream. And then you got zinc oxide running through your body, and not to mention with the commercial sunscreens, all the chemicals. But I'll be honest, if I'm in a scenario where I just have to be out in unrelentless, no relief sun, I have a few, like from a skincare line I used to carry, they're not really clean. That's basically what I've used, but only when I have to. And yeah, but that's because it's in moderation. But there are some clean ones out there. I'll look for some and get back to you. That's the quick breakdown of sunscreens. Now let's see. Several people have asked me for body wash and hand soap tutorials. I don't think I'm your girl. Now, I've tried the DIY body washes. I've tried Castile soap. I've tried Castile soaps. I've tried mixing Castile with this and that, and I've tried all the things, especially body wash. Now, hand soap, I could get by with it, but I'm not the only person in this household. But my husband just did not like them. Some people still need that lather. They want that lather. Here's what I do, and I'll link it. I think you can get it on Amazon. It's called Everyone for Everybody, and it's like a 3-in-1. It's supposed to be like shampoo, body wash, and hand soap all in one. It's a nice thick foamy thing. It's pretty clean. It may not be the cleanest. You do the best you can do. You've got good, gooder, and goodest, and this might be a gooder option. When you buy a lot of those clean body washes, they're pretty pricey. So here's what I do. I find them at TJ Maxx, and it'll be around $7.99, $8.99 for the big bottle. And I will bring that home, and I will pour out half. Well, probably not quite half. I will pour out some, and then I will add water and give it a good gentle shake. And he's good with that. He still gets the foam. It makes it go. It stretches it. Now, for the body wash, for our hand wash, I take that same soap, and I bought one of those little pumps. I put a little bit of that body wash, and then the rest water, gently shake it up, and then that's our foam hand soap, and that's what I use. But I don't make any. Now, if I come across something great, I'll share it. Another cool comment, and that is from Pearl. I absolutely love your channel. You have truly inspired me to move over to a natural skincare routine, and at 42 years old, I'm honestly never looking back. My skin is looking better than ever than it has before, and I've struggled with very dry skin for years. She started oil cleansing with jojoba and apricot blend. Then she started using the hydrosol with the glycerin, as you suggested, frankincense in the evening, geranium and rose in the morning, and it has worked brilliantly for me. I even made my own tallow balm following your recipe, and doing some research, she added frankincense, immortelle, carrot seed, jojoba, and apricot oil, and it's been amazing. My dark spots have faded so much, so yay. I also made the frankincense scrub and the oil, and it's honestly a miracle worker, and the whipped tallow body balm. That's awesome. My skin has never felt this moisturized. Pearl, thank you for sharing that. That makes me happy. That really, hearing from you guys, and you're getting some relief, and you're coming up with your own things that work good for you, that makes me so happy. And then someone else even commented, I learned a lot from your comments. So that's why I love the comment section, and I love these sit and chats, because we really can learn a lot from each other. And that leads me to another one of you that I learned a lot from, and that is, one of you asked if the seed oils are fragile. How can we know how they've been transported, and if they've been transported correctly, and how do we know if they're rancid? And this is an excellent question. The two things I took from this question, I don't think that's how she meant it, but it made me think about how I can think. So I'll address that in a minute. But first of all, how do you know if something smells rancid? Yes, that is a problem. Tomorrow me here, I realized when I was editing that I took off on a rant and explanation about something, and I forgot to mention what I think is very important. How do I tell if my oils are rancid? The number one thing you may want to look out for is it will smell different. Now, it just smells like old oil, if you ever smelled old oil. And if you can't quite imagine what I'm talking about, kind of think about crayons. It's just old. It starts to smell a little waxy. So if the smell starts smelling a little off, that is a good indicator. Also, it will start to change in color sometimes. It will start to get a little darker, and sometimes it'll get a little cloudy, and it can get a little thicker. I think you'll know even if it's an oil new to you. Just trust your instincts. If it doesn't feel right, something seems a little off, then it may be. I think you'll be able to tell. Trust your instincts. Okay, I'm sorry. Back to yesterday me and my rant. I've tried to pick from oils like the Leaven Rose, that company. Now you can order directly from that company, and I believe that's a pretty good company. The Mountain Rose Herbs, that's a good company. You will pay more shipping when you order from them, but they are really good. I trust how they've sourced their oils. And Leaven Hill has good expiration dates on theirs. Now, one thing I noticed, and I actually had already thought about this before I saw this question, the sweet almond oil that I have listed, I got to look and it doesn't have an expiration date on it, and I didn't like that. It does have these numbers on it. I mean, what the heck is that? That doesn't really tell you anything. So I started looking up, what do those numbers mean? Basically, it's a code for within the company. With that company, that they typically, their oils should be used about 2 years from time of purchase. I'm going to rethink that sweet almond oil and the one that I recommended. That is something to consider. Like I said a minute ago, we're looking for good, gooder, and goodest. There was a time that I would get overwhelmed by trying to do it all right. I would think of these things. And I don't think that she was thinking like this, but it made me think, if I felt like this, maybe some of you have too. It would overwhelm me a bit to think about some of these things. If we have to watch out for rancid oil, then, and I've talked about this in some of my other videos, there was a time I would obsess about these things. Like I would overthink this, and I want to give you the scenarios for what you need to pay attention to, and you do the best you can within what you have available, what you have control over, and you just do your good, gooder, and goodest. And if you want to do your goodest, look to companies like Mountain Rose Herbs. You'll pay more for it, but if that is extremely important to you, you just want to make sure it's a company that you feel like that they are telling the truth, that they really are trying to source good products. It's really hard to tell these days. So, but the ones that I've recommended are ones that I feel comfortable with from Amazon, or like I like the apricot kernel oil from Mountain Rose Herbs, and I do pay more for that. I'm not so sure about that sweet almond oil. But for now, I bought it. I'm going to use it. I'm going to do gooder. It may not be the goodest, but for now, it's gooder. And one of the ways I look at it is I am trying to do the best I can in all the areas. Now, am I doing the very best in every area? No. Our bodies are amazing. And with the small changes that I've made, and then over time I've made more and more, I can tell a huge difference. I don't want to stress anybody over that stuff. You just do the best you can, and we can give each other recommendations in those comments. Together we're going to figure this stuff out. Emu oil, that has come up a lot. I have not tried emu oil. It is an animal fat. It comes from an emu. So just know that if you are trying to be plant-based only, emu oil comes from emus. Lemu, the emu. But emu oil, yes, I'm probably going to look into that and try it myself. And again, that's going to be another one of those things. I think you have to be careful where you source it. That's just the state of things these days. We have to try our best to know where we're getting and what we're getting. So that was probably a lot for a sit and chat. I love the comment section, and I love that the comment section is turning more into a conversation, and we're all interacting with each other. I love that we're sharing. I love hearing about all of your results, even the not so great results, because I mean, we're all different. It's nice having a little community where we can share, you know, just us. So yeah, ask those questions, and about every 3 or 4 videos, we'll sit and chat about them. If you are enjoying these videos, I would really appreciate it if you would hit the like and subscribe button. That lets YouTube know that you all are liking it, and it puts it out there for more people to find. I thank you all so much for hanging out with me. My name is Loanne, and this is a Little Bit of Homestead.